What's up, chat? How we doing today? We are live, another episode of CK101. Yeah, sorry about being a little, what was it, 1 minute late? Trying to figure stuff out music-wise, answering text messages. How are we doing, chat? Shout out everyone who's already here. Solution gets here before I think the notification even goes out. I think it's absolutely hilarious to see Solution here. I'm just getting, I'm reading up text, finishing up my messages, and then I was like, oh look, gang. The Ace, shout out Ace already being here, shout out Angle also being in chat already. Sorry to hear about the car still. If you don't know, Angle got into an accident, was it yesterday at this point? Car's really effed up, hey. Yep, how's it going, Ace? Yeah, it's going pretty well for me. Yankees fan, we're starting off the season well. Sorry about your Blue Jays, I will say that. Very mid-season so far, to be quite honest with you. But, yeah. What are we gonna do today? So, first of all, we have a lot of stuff, I guess. ECRC All-Star Game. So that is, what, this Friday? I am busy, sadly, so I don't think I'll be able to do it this week. But, not have a couple of... I don't blame you, my guy. I don't blame you. I'm so sorry. Toronto fan in general, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, so we got ECRC All-Star Game. We're gonna go over a quick ECRC recap. Because really, the only things that happened were fours, and weirdly enough, it's really uneventful because everyone who needed to make it made it. Oh my god, I'm getting everyone's. Why is everyone messaging me? I'll respond to them later. That's what's. No, I'll probably end up responding to them on stream. That's just how we are. But yeah, got ECRC stuff to go over. CKL recap because holy hell, this last week of the CKL season is just most famous. I don't know about famous. We don't leak what I said in the Snapchats, though, but, I would not call myself famous in the slightest. So, yeah, we have CKL. There's a ton of stuff that just happened in this last week. Playoff picture looking really insane, and we're gonna get our first look into some collegiate playoff action of 2024. So let's get right into it, guys. Gotta start off with the ECRC table once I find which button I have to press. Okay, so I think we've been over most of this already. Yeah, we've been over most of this, so... And most of it actually isn't happening. I think D2 might happen this week, but maybe not. That's really it, so... Yeah, 412, so next week we have D1, Tech, Yummy Bagel, Jinja, Bad Boo, Side B, Angle, Zay, Spoon. We went over this last week, I'm pretty sure. The big thing here is, first of all, everyone give apologies to Tech if you saw what happened with that latest YouTube video. Dear Lord, that URL... YouTube absolutely hates technical. That was a mean April Fool's joke just 2 days late. But it's whatever at this point, I guess. So we'll go over D1 in more detail next week when we have that actually happening and we have a bit more and we have a better idea of who's really playing and what's gonna happen. But we'll leave it for now. The Geometry Dash YouTube link incident. Yo, that was crazy. Who would have thought? I guess we can go in the Forest D1. So this is also not happening until next week. I forgot. So yes, ECRC is not happening until next week, and then 420. Oh, 420 is going to be rough. Now I think about it, because Peach State's going to Super Road Rage, which is held at McDaniel, so they're going to be out of LAN. Michigan will also probably need a reschedule, so that'll probably be there. But anyways, the teams that we have in semis for D1 ECRC 4s, we got Michigan State Spartans, we got the Crimson Tide out of Alabama, and we have the Terrapins out of University of Maryland. I think this was, a lot of people expected this kind of playoff run, honestly, especially once we saw Maryland have Fate, and Fate just was an absolute insane addition to have at last from week 2 on. That amazing stuff for Maryland. Alabama really turned their season around after week 3, I want to say it was, because I know they were kind of struggling to find their footing over in ECRC 4s for the first part of it. But yeah, Roll Tide. The way Alabama has played in the past month is one of the biggest stories I think of the semester. Just seeing how Alabama has, the Brad Joe effect. Just seeing how well Alabama has played, and we'll talk about this especially when we get to CKL. Shout out Rumble, by the way. But yeah, Alabama has been hot. In fact, we'll go into my more detailed prediction next week, but I do think Alabama's going to win this matchup here, just with the way they're playing. But Michigan State is for sure not a team to really underestimate. it really is lineup dependent with Michigan State. You have like, I don't know, you have Nova. Silver's still available. If the question really is, does Nunley play? If Nunley plays, then this is going to be really interesting there. And I think if that's the case, you could see Michigan State win, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Alabama. We'll go into a bit more of detail next week, as I said, but if you want the early preliminary prediction, I'm going with Alabama to make it in the finals. Why is there copy pasted? I don't know. Okay, and then we have D2 fours. You're gonna fold the Fate. It's hard. Playing against Fate is hard. I will say, like, former D2 player, former member of like Royal Flush, Higher Octave, retired my ass at this point because, like, holy hell, I felt like such a fraud playing against Fate. I will not lie to you. Only dropped like 86. I could not do anything against Maryland, so a shame, a shame. You go into D2, and then, yeah, once again, so Tennessee's been struggling in CKL. That's not been up for debate. But in fours, they have been an absolute menace in Division 2. So they have that bye until finals. And then you have the teams that are in semis. You got UAH, NC State, and Siena College in that first wave. Really, that one's closer than most people would expect, but I'm going to lean towards UAH. The Chargers have been playing well when they need to. And in fours, their depth really isn't as much of an issue because they have Creo, they have Green, who's playing very well lately. They have, who else I gotta say? Cheese, who's been playing well. I think UAH is just really strong at this point, and especially because like Siena is new outside of Jinja. NC State is pretty much all new. So realistically, I think UAH kind of has a bit of an easier path to finals, but things could happen. We'll go over that more next week. And then the last one, you got Virginia Tech, you got Morgan State, and you have McDaniel. Realistically, McDaniel's kind of out. They're here mostly because I think almost every team made playoffs here, so McDaniel's pretty much out. It really is between Virginia Tech and Morgan State, and historically, Virginia Tech has been kind of beating Morgan State in fours, so I think that just having Cynical, Ice doesn't even play in here yet, as far as I know, but Virginia Tech, I think, is probably the favorite here in that matchup as well. So I'm expecting to see Tennessee, UAH, Virginia Tech in finals. Now, I have to go kind of quickly because there is a lot of stuff going on. Oh, and you have the logo stuff here, which is actually really cool. Shout out to Sandberg for making all that. We'll show it on the D1 side, too. Michigan State, Alabama, Maryland. Yeah, shout out to Sandberg for this. This is like really, really hype stuff to see. If you haven't signed up for Super Road Rage already, make sure you go do that. If you are in the Mid-Atlantic region, so like Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, Maryland area. I think it'll be a really fun event there. Peach State's coming up, so hey, I get to meet Spoon Dynamo. That's really hype for me at least, so I'm excited. Also, I get to run stream there, so that'll be really fun. I don't get to play, but hey, they'll take that. I'll take that. I don't know. I've heard rumors that D2 for FFA is happening this week. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I know there's been a push for some people to do it because I think it's a couple schools have their finals earlier than the rest, and then which is rough because the fact that college calendars do not line up in the slightest, that's an absolute nightmare because like, hey, some schools are ending in April. Some schools are ending in June, like, ugh. So, but yeah, if this happens this week, we'll take a look at it. So, JKA, Glacial, Sambert, Anomaly, Obsidia, J, Asmon, Claw, MC, Koba, Wumbo, Baja. Top 6 make it here, and then they'll go on into finals where they'll meet up with Creo, Sleepy, and Don't, Dynamo, Max, and Nitro. So we immediately had to start thinking of 6 names to get into D2 finals. And in an FFA setting, anything can really happen. But I think there's a couple players here who I think are kind of the favorites. Jay, for one, is insane. Jay not being in finals immediately is like, oh, that's kind of a nightmare for certain players here because holy, Jay, when Jay is on top of things, Jay is going to be a menace. And I think Jay is probably one of the easier locks. You know, that top 6 is scary. Like, dear lord. Like, there's no weak link here. just making it in the finals is gonna be like hard. This is legitimately gonna be one of the most stacked lobbies I think we'll ever see. I'm gonna see if we can stream that one, honestly, because that's gonna be really fun. I think Jay probably makes it. But Jay, I know Jay's biggest thing is probably just himself, because I know Jay will sometimes just have like the mental block and then and then things just kind of go downhill. But if Jay is on the good mood, Jay is locked in, Jay probably makes it. I'm gonna go with, this might be a shocker for some, but I think Asmund is actually really scary here. Has a lot more of the experience in the FFA setting, because like, if you don't know, Asmund got 6th at Riptide last year in-person LAN. Asmund also did really well last season in ECRC, getting 2nd in the division and championship, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Asmund make it. And then things get really interesting here. I'm gonna go Wumbo. I think Wumbo is more of a consistent threat, honestly. I think Wumbo has the potential to really make it here, especially in this lobby. I don't Klob on that. I was gonna say Klob next. Klob, I think, has just been playing really well lately. You see a lot of it in CKL. And I think in this lobby, Klob is going to be like a very big threat, and I could definitely see Klob making it. I'll go JK8. I think JK8 just has a lot more of the FFA grind at this point, and I think JK8's like a bit more of the experience here might really pay off. And then it gets really interesting, because I could see Glacial making it. I could see a bit of an upset, but I do think Glacial can make it. Obsidia, I think, is a huge threat still. I think Baja is a big sleeper pick, hard bias on my end, but I definitely think Baja can make it into finals. It's really just going to determine whoever plays well on that day, because that's a scary thing about FFA. If you just have a bad day, it's over. Like, legitimately, I wouldn't be surprised if he sees, like, even like Sandbird. Sandbird's been having those really high peaks. We could very well see Sandbird make finals of his own league. Would be kind of a poetic storyline, honestly, in his senior year, but you never know, Move on to D3. Okay, so as far as I know, I haven't checked ECRC staff log as much as I should have, but we'll see about what's happening here. So, the thing about D3 is that it's semis into finals, no one has a bye already. So we have Cheese, we have Brajo, we have Sunset, we have Ronan, we have Steamy, Mudkip, Iron Toadmaster. And I don't know, maybe it's just the Alabama hype train, but I really think Brajo is a lock for finals at this rate. Brajo's just been playing insanely well in like CKL and ECRC, in the regular MK with MK College. I think Brajo is just going to be a huge threat overall for this team in this event. I'm gonna go Cheese. UAH has been on the come up for sure lately, so I think for sure they're going to be able to do that. I think Cheese for sure is going to be one of the bigger threats in this division for FFA. And I think Cheese has really had some really strong results, especially towards the end. So I think wouldn't be surprised to see that. I'm going to go Toadmaster, actually. Also, I think Toadmaster maybe has less of the consistency, but I think Toadmaster has the potential, especially in a one-match format. Yeah, I saw Cheese out in Div Korea, so I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest to see Cheese make it over. I think Toadmaster, I think that's just a Michigan difference at this point. I think there's too much here to really just ignore that Toadmaster's a big threat. If you want other sleeper picks, I think Sunset is a potential dark horse to win the entire thing. Like, straight up. Like, I could honestly see Sunset just having an insane run, and she just goes into finals, like, really hot. You never know. And I actually do think Steamy probably makes it. I think Virginia Tech players have been kind of underrated, so I would not be surprised to see Steamy make it at all. D4. Top 6 here again make it, so legitimately, I think it's C2D2 makes it. I think Bobby J makes it. Greensicle makes it. Hyper makes it. I'm going to go Crimson, and I'm going to go the Knights. So maybe a bit of a hotter takes with 7 and 8C, but C2D2, Bobby J, Greensicle, and Hyper have been dominating this entire division. I think one of those 4 is going to win the whole thing, so I'm not surprised to see either of them in. And then the Knight has been having those insane highs as well, so I think that's going to be the Tennessee rep in FFA finals. And then Crimson's been playing well lately too, so I think really, when it comes down to it, really any of them could make it into finals, but I'm going to go with those that I mentioned. going kind of fast here because I know CKL's got a ton of stuff to mention, and I gotta talk playoffs for that too. We'll go over ECRC in the future. Don't worry about it, guys. And then the last thing, the top 9 make it out of this wave, and we have been watching D5 really shape up into something special. Jay Hammy, I think, is a lock. One of the Heidelberg threats of all time, and I really think that Jay Hammy is probably one of the biggest, like, guarantees in finals. Same with Purple Nurple. Purple Nurple's been doing absolutely insane stuff, I think representing the college in New Jersey, so really hyped to see that overall. I'm gonna go with, I think Ocean is like really strong here. I think that's a very underrated player. Aqua, I think, has a good shot. And then Prism, JDP Craft, Vigilane, I think those are probably all going to make it here. Realistically, the thing about D5 is that, like, it's really close. You have J Hammy and Purple, for sure. And I think JDP Craft probably also. But everyone else can really just be fighting for those last spots. And a lot of them will make it in. So I think that's the really exciting thing with ECRC. If we get a chance to go over this next week, we'll get a chance to talk about this again next week. But hey, that's going to be really exciting stuff then. I'm going to be repeating this for like 3 weeks now. I think about it. Wow. Okay, CKL time. Got a bit of a... Probably going to be a bigger stream. What the heck? D1 MCH KU fan? What the heck, Ace? Shout out Ace being an MCH fan. Shout out, yeah, I'm 3 followers away from 100. I forgot what my goal is going to be for 100 followers, but if you haven't followed already, please drop that follow. Making 3 ults right now. Shout out Bagel for doing that. I appreciate you, my man. Okay, D4 CKL is kind of a mess. If you don't know, the majority of D4 has not finished their games, and a lot of D4 is kind of not, they're like not mathematically out, but it's just the fact that it's a reminiscent of what happened in D2 last season, where pretty much it was 2 teams really deserved to be in playoffs, and then everyone else, like, what are you doing? Kind of just fighting for that last spot and kind of into a Mickey Mouse run, so you never know. The deadline's coming up for these, but the reality is, I think a lot of these are going to end up in forfeits, and we hate to see it, but if we're being honest, I think the only team that really deserves to be in playoffs is UNM and Western. Florida probably also, but the Florida's struggled with gathering, so we'll take a look at the results and you'll see what I mean. Me having to figure out what day I last streamed. 327. Okay, we have like 3 matches to go over. So, Western University of Ontario versus EIU. 540 to 444 plus 96 in favor of UWO. We got Domi with the 159, Eugene 88, Ironcraft 80, Ninja 79, Polo 74, Agent CY 60. And then from EIU, Megaphil 105, Muscolini 94, Lovebug 75, Panda Drago 68, Llama 65, Sevens 37. This was not a surprise result, let's be honest, guys. I think we all expected UWO to win this. I think we're more surprised that it was as close as it was. Because, like, Domi only dropped 159, a poor average at this point. What is she going to do? Is the UWO match this week? That is very interesting. It would be, I think that is going to be gone over. What did that? Yeah, only 159. Come on. Yeah, Domi, he's like, this is one of the greatest performances we've ever seen in the history of this league. It's a short history, but this is going to be its legendary status at this point. 2 180s, averaging, what, close to 160? Amazing stuff from her, honestly. And the rest of UWO has been playing well, too. Like, don't count this team out. Eugene, Ironcraft, Ninja, Polo, HCY, they've all been putting in a ton of work. Not surprised to see this at all. And EIU, this is actually a pretty good result for them. Megaphil with the 105, Muscolini with the 94. EIU has struggled this season, let's be honest. They haven't found their footing since last season, being at the bottom of the table now that CSUF is also out, but EIU, I think they're a team to watch out for in the future, so excited to see what they do. Hopefully they play the rest of their matches, I will say that. New Mexico beats UCSD 2 because of a forfeit. And then this one was a big result. This is a huge result. University of New Mexico 568 of UWO's 416, a plus 152 in favor of UNM. Like, let's like look at the table, because I think when UNM and Western played last time, I remember I think Domi didn't play. So it was like, we saw that and it was like, okay, well, it might change during the rematch. And when the rematch happened, this happened? That is scary. What the heck happened with UNM? Look at this team go. Bean 116, G72 110, Ice 92, Yellow 90, Donnie 80, Skinny 80. People are talking about it in chat. But yeah, Ironcraft not playing definitely hurts, but still, this is a very scary result. New Mexico's been kind of underrated. It's in a weird way. It's weird to put it. Kind of like taking on that, like, what is it, 2015 Hawks type of deal, where it's like, in the regular season, they have a lot of good wins, but it's like, it never felt convincing. But like, this team is really turning out into something special. Look at this. No one drops below 80. That's what chat's been talking about right now. It's been like the D4 OU special. 2, 3, 4, 5, and tie for 6. That Pacific League experience is showing, yeah. Getting their ass whooped in PL really helped them a lot. Because now you have that all here. And this is some special stuff. So they got swept by... Yeah, UNM is gonna be, is gonna be Toronto, I guess. You never know. I wouldn't be surprised. And then UWO, Zay mentioned it, no Ironcraft playing. So Domi 141, Hugin 80, Codfish 61, HCY 57, Sab 44, Derp 33. So this isn't the best UWO lineup. UWO has turned into LeBron, so I don't know how that has happened, but oh my god, there can't Canadian influence there. I can't believe it. Only 141 from Domi. But the scary thing is, so this is obviously not UWO's best lineup. There's no Ironcraft playing, and a bunch of like their bottoms are kind of like less experienced, I think, in the CKL scene. So maybe that's just to show their hand or something like that. More like Caitlin Clark. Yeah, shout out to women's basketball in the NCAA tournament. That's actually been pretty fun to watch. But like overall, this is a convincing result for UNM so far. They are confirmed the 1 seed, I think, at this point. Yeah, because they have one more game. Okay, yeah, UNM has one more game. They're pretty much going to be confirmed that 1 seed, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they'll be that 1 seed. Okay, now let's talk about the playoff picture for D4. Because what the heck is happening? Okay, I was gonna say, they went on differential with UWO because they did win twice anyway, so it was a 2-0 series. There is. So, let's be honest here. McDaniel and EIU are probably not making it. And UCSD probably doesn't make it. If I'm being quite honest, if any of these 3 teams make it in the playoffs, it's kind of a Mickey Mouse run. Because I think UCSD is both only wins are on forfeits. EIU has a 5v6 win. McDaniel has a win on EIU. Who else do they have a win on? I think it... And UCSD. So, it's been rough in D4. I'll say that. So, it'll be interesting here. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Florida, I think, is legitimately the only team that makes sense to be in that 3rd seed. And I think, but Florida also loses to Western, if we're being quite honest. Florida does have a win on New Mexico. I don't think New Mexico had top LU for that game, though. But it wouldn't be a surprise to see Florida in, because I think Florida is objectively the 3rd strongest team here. Yeah, CKL scheduling was absolutely terrible for... Now, even number divs are just not the play. It's always D2, and then it's D2 and D4 that has these things now. So the thing is, here's Blood with his table. You don't want to die in a D2 rep chat. You want to die? I don't blame you. Don't. Yeah, being a rep is rough. Yo, shout out Andrew hopping into chat as well. So yeah, Florida's objectively the third best team here. So they're the only team that probably could make an argument for playoffs. I kind of hope if anyone's going to make it, I'm like legitimately thinking we might just skip right the finals because I think UNM Western is going to be the finals regardless. But things can happen. Things can. Yo, love you too, Andrew. But hey, we'll get to that. D3. D3 is all done, I think. D3 is not all done. If I remember right, it's Nebraska St. Clair, Nebraska Morgan, who still has to go. Which makes this fun. Okay, Saints Carding versus UAHD0 Andrew. I remember watching this match, and it was rough because it was a 6v5, but dear lord, the UNL upsets. We'll talk about what could have happened. So Saints Clair 523 to UAH 461, broken out of 151 from Moo Moo. Bonkers with the 123, Guilty with a 98, Dream 79, Chariot 49, and Kemi 23. This is pretty much what we've come to expect from St. Clair. The top three go crazy. Moo Moo especially going crazy. What is this legacy game? The 151? Ouch! Holy hell! What was that? Bonkers with the 123 and Guilty with the 98. This is what's really keeping their season alive. They're in it. They still have a shot. It's a very realistic shot, actually. So, St. Clair could legitimately be in playoffs. And we might know that by tomorrow. So, don't be surprised if you see SK in it and Canada having another rep. And the remnants of Ontario United are back in. And then, yeah, looking at this is really a surprise. SK just having that kind of stuff. And then UAH did play with a bot. I remember watching this and I'm like, holy heck, this is rough. The table's a lot closer than I expected. But Moo really got his meadows. Green with the 103. Green with the 103, Creo with the 94, Dracius 89, Cheese 86, Space 68, and Wario Bot with a 21. So, UAH having, it's rough for the 5v6, but only at minus 62. That's not too bad for UAH. And sadly, at this point, their season was pretty much over. We're kind of just playing for like placements at this point. But a 5v6, not exactly what you want to see at all. But hey, UAH has had some solid players really show up, and it makes sense. It's just really been a gathering issue, I think, because had they been able to gather more often, I think you would see a much different UAH than we saw this season. But yeah, Green, Creo, Dracius, Cheese have really shown a lot of work. Space has been playing well also at times, and then a Thorough Light didn't play a lot, and a few others didn't play much, but UAH, not a bad season at all for them. FIU versus Morgan State. This one had a lot of viewers. For like a match on Easter Sunday that wasn't on primetime, this felt like a primetime game. 525 FIU, 459 Morgan State. Dragon Slayer 105, Milkshake 98, Ted Bear 98, Star the Cat 81, Nick 77, and an MD Rex 66. Which question are we talking about, Nitro? If it was the one that I think the one... Oh, that one! Zay, Nitro, Moo Bonkers. I'm not your rep. I can't make that decision for you, but I think that'll be a good match to say, in the very least. Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to be able to do that as the playoff match, but I think it'd be a good match to watch anyway, because if I use hella good. Then Morgan State, you got the Jose with the 124, Nitro 107, Obsidia 66, Ronin 57, Claw 56, and Iman 49. My bad, Nitro. For those who didn't tune in, the first half was actually Morgan State was winning by like over 30, close to 40, I want to say. And then I don't know what happened. Okay, I have a rough idea. I'm not allowed to leak it on stream, but I do know I had talks with Ted Bear after, and I'm like, what happened after race 6? And this, whatever he did, that motivational speech apparently that I'm not going to leak on stream that he said he'll reveal after the season ends. Wow. He switched players. Wait, this was like, that was such a big FIU moment, because FIU, those last, they basically had like a plus 90 second half. That was insane. It was big race after big race after big race. That last GP was insane, because I think they were tied going into race 9, and then this happened. I'm like, what the hell was this? I remember just watching, and I'm like, wow. FIU was just, yeah, the FIU second half needs to be studied. I was talking about this with Angle yesterday, because FIU in the second half of Wars is just different. It's like they're messing around in the first half, like just give that false sense of security, and then they just go full steam ahead in race 7 and on, and it's just hard to beat. They don't even need to get all their tracks either, because like Morgan had a pretty dominant race on Sky Garden, which is the big FIU track, and then stuff just happened, and I'm like, whoa, I have the bot actually, so I'm gonna look at that real quick. Yeah, plus 18, plus 20, plus 36 in 3 races from FIU. Like, 7, 8, 9 was... Holy hell. 74. Yeah. Yeah, Nitro and Zay were on like 140, I think even almost like 150 pace by the end of the first half. Then Ted Bear with the... with the Space Jam moment, I'm like... with Jordan's secret stuff, basically, giving that, and then, like, FIU just turned up. Where the hell did Dragon Slayer come from? So, like, when the 4th option turns up in MVPs, that was insane. I think it'll be close in playoffs, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be the finals matchup, and I'm really excited for that, because these teams are going to be it's going to be such a good playoff match. Morgan has the tools to put it all together. You saw what they did, and I remember thinking, I forget who had that bomb on Sky Garden. I want to say it was Iman. Was it Iman or like Ronan, I want to say, who had that bomb at the end of Sky Garden, and it's just like so good. And then Morgan can put it together. And you saw Zay and Nitro really go crazy. I think they could do it. I think FIU is going to also be really hungry. Try and get that undefeated season still, because, spoiler, but FIU is 10-0. And the undefeated season didn't happen with Iona technically last semester because they did lose Game 1 in finals. FIU has a chance to be the first team to do it still. FIU Moravian, 585 to 399. We're looking at FIU was the Milkshake 137, Nick 110, Ted Bear 96, Dragon Slayer 91, Starter Cat 80, MD Rex 71 from Moravian, we have Angle 115, Nox 79, Wumbo 71, Baja 70, Kama 41, Ash 23. If I'm being quite honest with you, I'm pretty sure this was more so just like me realizing as coach, I'm just going to start experimenting with track picks here. It did not help that we got Sky Garden twice because of a random repick here. Half working, had Taco Launch General. Hey, no worries, no worries. I'll check the Warbot actually, just so I have it. Yeah, this was like kind of close going into, yeah, I told them on race 12, you know what, screw it, we're going to go Shy Guy, and we're going to pick Shy Guy Falls. Do you want to know what happened? Wumbo hit random because he couldn't find Shy Guy Falls, and it landed on Sky Garden. Sky Garden was already played, and then it was like, but it's on random, so it's like, fine. I wanted to go TR. We didn't have an opportunity to. So the thing is, this was a plus 26. FIU was up by 26 after race 6. And then they got plus 160 in that second half. At that point, I kind of just like, yeah, TR Swamp Ruins. I forgot we played 2 yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, pick the random, and then the random is what it is. Nah, you're good, you're good. I picked the track again. Yeah. So yeah, race 7, Athens did not go out. Yeah, Athens. I remember we picked Athens because, like, hey, why not? I know Wumbo likes it in 2, 3, 4. So hey, and that backfired. Sunshine backfired. Cove backfired. RMP was good for them. I'm like, epic, let's go Calamari, and Calamari did really bad. And then, like, Skyga again. So yeah, it's technically not a repick, except that repick was on race 12. So like, we couldn't do anything after that, sadly. FIU is just playing really well. Snapchat girl sent me a snap during stream. I think that's just kind of a tradition at this point. So, this is like hilarious, honestly. Just looking at this, FIU is just so good. The second half of FIU is going to be amazing. So, like, whoever plays them in finals, you gotta either have an insanely good first half or just limit the damage in second and half too. Because if you keep it, if it's anywhere close, if you give them any comeback potential, FIU is just going to run away in second half. So, good luck to whoever plays that in finals. You were on 180 pace until they woke up. Was that there or was that against UAH? My god. UAH versus Moravian, 567 and 417 in favor of UAH. This was a Green Legacy game. This is a Cheese Legacy game also. Green 120, Cheese 118, Creo 109, Space 81, Cordy 77, Dracia 62. And then from Raven, Angle 120, Wumbo 84, Baja 72, Nox 64, Ash 39, Kamo 38. Rebuild time for Moravian is basically how I looked at it. So I'm like, you know what? We'll start just picking tracks, see what happens. I realized the season was over at this point. I'm like, you know what? It's all good. Let's just see what they can do because it's like, hey, 2 of these people are graduating, so just have fun there. UAH though came out to play. Holy hell, Green, Cheese, and Creo all dropping over 109. Cheese having a 118. I think that might be Cheese's best game of the season. I could be wrong. Creo was playing solid as well, and Green has really turned up into something special. I think Green might be my pick for most improved this season. It's like Green, Wumbo. We'll talk about that later, but like insane stuff overall for this group over there at UAH. That's like, yeah, UAH had a bit of a rougher season this time compared to last semester, but they had a good ending. And I think this is exactly what you want to see from UAH. I think it's a good future for them. Really excited to see what they're able to do next season. Assuming a lot of them stay. I don't know if I'll even graduate or not. That's the worst thing about CKL. I really don't know who's like graduating, who's going on to grad school and whatever not, who's transferring, so maybe we'll figure that out in the future and we'll see. Then for Moravian, Angle putting up great numbers once again, and then like Wumbo still playing solid, Baja playing solid. The rest of them, Nox, Ash, Kamo also doing what they can do, but at this point, I think it was more so let's mess around, just a rough week overall for Moravian, so it's like, hey, have fun. Season's over. We'll just use this as a rebuilding era. First time. I have the Sixers thing behind me. It might be time for me to start trusting the process again. The core is going away, so rebuilding around Angle and Baja and seeing what's going to happen. So, I heard about that. I heard about the Nitro free agency being rumored. We'll see. I know, there's rumors of Angle transferring. Baja has made it apparent that they want to go to Morgan, so you never know. Anyway, yeah. Imagine Nitro transferring. Where would Nitro transfer? Could you imagine Nitro transferring to, like, I don't know, Michigan? To bring out the top 5 there? That'd be really crazy, honestly. Nitro goes to, like, Oklahoma, tries to be there. Transfer's canceled, you can't transfer back. That's what, well, Kutztown's, like, not too far away. You never know. Flights are an option, too. If you go to, like, a D2 or D1 school, they also have NCAA scholarships. Oh, you get access to Spicy VOD review. That's true. I haven't done that in a while, actually. I feel really bad about it, but hey, do want to bring that up a lot more often next season, and we'll talk about the Oklahoma project going into the future, but when we get to D1. Anyway, let's go into D3. Let's talk about the table here. So here's the deal. It's really between Huskers and Saints Carding. Huskers needs to win one, and they're in. That's all they got to do. They have to beat Morgan or Saints Carding. They had 2 shots to win one game. The thing is, they kind of got whooped by Morgan last week on primetime, so I don't know how much faith there is there. So it'll come down to Saints Carding and then Huskers. I think it's a bit dependent on lineup, if we're being honest. Because, okay, does Dream play for Saints Carding? I heard rumors of... That's so sorry, Nitro. I'm so sorry for you. We have rumors of Nebraska players having some personal stuff coming up, so, like, we don't know who's playing exactly. But that matchup will determine who makes it in the playoffs, I think. Because we can assume there'll be 4-5, and then it's just a 4-6 matchup. And then basically the winner of that moves on to the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Keyword, I'm pretty sure. I think it will depend on a couple other things. Maybe like might depend on like differential and all that. Especially, I think it might actually depend on differential. But we'll see. It'll be close. I think I might still give it to Nebraska. I think they're just a bit more consistent overall, and I think they have it against Saints Carding. But hey, if Saints Carding goes crazy, if that top 3 goes insane, and if Dream especially becomes that 4th option they've been looking for, don't be surprised to see Saints Carding in playoffs come next week. Or Nebraska just beats Morgan and then it's all over. Never know. Let's go on to D2. And now time for the weekly Snapchat break. Chat, say hi. Chat, say hi as I go into figure some stuff out and see where we. Okay, so from 3... You know how weird it is? I know the whole like April Fool's joke was like, staff is gonna pretend to be me, and we're just gonna clone myself. And then I still see Archie has this, so it's like, what's happening? So I was legitimately very confused when I saw this for the first time, and just seeing like Archie's here. Okay, Michigan State, Tennessee, 5'11", a 473, plus 38 in favor of MIST. 125 from Don't Silver with a 106, Nova with a 95, Noah with 78, Jalapeno 77, Templar 30, and then from Tennessee, Evolve 144, Ghost 96, Jaguzzi 89, Knight 61, Silver 46, Ethan 37. Oh my god. So, this is typical. This is what we expected, honestly. Tennessee's had a very rough season in CKL. That's just the reality of it. It's been like having a lot of the ups and a lot of downs. We had a... Did we lose a follower? Oops. That's rough there, actually. Oh well. So, it's been rough for Tennessee. But hoping to see them have a better season next time. But they still have 4s in ECRC as well. So their season isn't over this semester. But, hey... Been rough overall. We've seen some of them come really close though, so I think just give them another season, and they're going to be a really big threat. Michigan State's fighting for that last. Yo, shout out Cairo for the follow. Hope you're doing good, my guy. One of the best inward players we've ever seen, honestly. So shout out to Cairo. And Michigan State, we got Don't with the 125, Silver with 106. Yeah, we've mentioned this already. Michigan State's fighting for that last playoff spot. And at this point, any win is important here. Because, like, D2 playoffs is very close. So one thing I want to look at here is that we'll take a look at this, but like you see a lot of the players here have been playing well. Don't has been playing insane. Silver's been putting in consistent work. And then it's just really depending on LU at this point. Nunley selling the whole bag. Yeah, if Nunley plays more often, Michigan State's a lock, I want to say, but it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to, like, really these last few matches getting played. There we go. Virginia Tech, UNI. We have plans. Maybe. Please. I gotta see, and I want to see Michigan State and Michigan in playoffs for their respective thing. To just have the argument as best state. I want to, yeah, probably the best state in the country. It's like them in California. The Xenoblade music does go hard. I'm surprised I haven't used it before. Cause like this was like my go-to music in like Smash when I used to play. So 537 to 447 plus 90 in favor of Virginia Tech. Ice 149, Cynical 100, Steamy 90, Hyper 77, Blizzard 68, Aljack 53, and then from UNI, Lemons 104, Archie 90, Accident 74, Daffy 69, Icy 67, Benzin 43. What is rough here is that UNI season is over, but the UNI had a good run, honestly. I think UNI really contended well. Lemons had some ups and downs. Really, this entire team had a lot of ups and downs. When UNI was peaking, they were one of the best teams I think you could have seen. I could argue that was like a top 10 team in the country. Actually, I think they probably are a top 10 team in the country. I think mathematically they probably are. So it'll depend on a few things, but they're arguably top 10. So UNI for sure had a good season. Might not have cracked playoffs like they were hoping to, but hey, the push for the first playoff berth for UNI is still going. I believe it's going to happen in the near future. Probably next year at some point. And for Virginia Tech, the Ice Cynical duo has just been insane. We've been talking about this basically the entire year. Like, Ice Cynical just put up so much work. But then like, you see players like Steamy really show up and really do put in a ton of work. That 90 has been insane. Steamy has developed into a really good third option. Hyper has been developing as well into a really solid option to have. So Virginia Tech, I think, is really scary here. I think they basically clinched playoffs, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I have to look at the table again. But Virginia Tech is going to be a big threat. And I remember Solution DMing me this table, and I was like, what the fuck is this table? What the fuck is this table anyway? Alabama 498, UNI 486, a plus 12 in favor of Alabama. Roll Tide at this point. A Solution 127, Bradshaw 109, Sales 73, Trombone Wizard 72, Draw 60, and then Jay with a 57. Alabama's been playing well. They've been getting the wins that they needed. They've been doing insanely good this season. And like Alabama's playing at the way that we're going. They're playing like they want to win the whole thing, and I think they have a good shot to. I think it's really legitimately between them, Virginia Tech, or me, or whoever the third seed is going to be. Realistically, I think any of those teams could make it there, but I think there's something about how Alabama's playing this last month that I think they're going to be such a strong favorite here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Alabama win the whole thing. And then from UNI, Lemons at 127, Icy 90, Archie 84, Accent 76, Dappy 60, Benzin 49. The thing here with UNI, they kept it close. I remember hearing that's how close this was. I think it came down to it. If I remember right, it came down to the last race on Waluigi Stadium, and then Alabama just like pulled away there. J6 on the team. What is Road doing? Now, if Jay is the sixth best player on your team, that's just a testament to how good your team is. Because, hey, underrated thing, but the development of the Alabama squad this past semester has been really special. So, and we're excited to see that really going. Twitch Crash GG, no ace. And then UNI, well, once again, coming really close. This could have been a huge upset at this point. Get him off for it. And hey, Lemon's putting in still a ton of work. and the rest of UNI has been playing solid as well. They haven't had the consistency they were looking for. I think once that consistency comes, though, UNI is going to be really special in the future. How many tables do we have left? 1, 2. Okay. And then what would have been prime time, except we lost our streamer. And then it was like, crap, I can't make it back in time. I don't have any of this CK streaming stuff on me, so I couldn't stream for you guys. I'm really sorry about that for Alabama, Michigan State. Hoping to get you guys on a prime time and stuff like that. Yeah, and this is where the capitalizer roll tide comes in. Because Alabama 542 to Michigan State's 442 plus 100 win in favor of Alabama. Roll tide! Because, look at this. A Solution masterclass again. 133 from Solution. Jay 110, Brad 105, Drama Wizard 78, Draw 67, Sales 49. Alabama is just playing insanely well. They're playing well when they need to, and I think this could be their season. The Cackers are OP. Hey, we'll take it. The way a lot of the Alabama players have been like stepping up has been like really cool to see. So we love to see that, honestly, from Alabama, and Solution is having a very strong case for MVP. I think my propaganda this season is going to be that Solution gets MVP in D2, but really that's whenever we get awards going up, so we'll see. But yeah, shouts to Alabama, really strong performance from them. And then for Michigan State, I don't know, 118, Jalapeno 74, Nova 74, Adler 73, Noah 63, Templar 40. Michigan State still had a solid performance here, though, honestly. Not having the top lineup they have, no Nunley, no Silver, but I don't know, it's still playing insanely well. Why am I getting pinged? So, Michigan State, they still have a good shot, I think, at playoffs. Like, it really depends on a couple of the other results that came up, but which we'll talk about next. But Michigan State, it's really hard to beat Alabama when they're playing like this. That's pretty much just the gist of it. It's Alabama's just playing that well. So it's really hard to just break through CCP represents. Michigan State comes out with a dominant win over UNI, though. Keckers are party. 561 to 423, a plus 138 in favor of the Spartans out of Michigan State. 133 from, I don't know, Nova 123, Jalapeno 95, Adler 90, Noah 83, Templar 37. Then from UNI, Clemens with the 93, Archie with the 88, Icy 70, Daffy 63, Axon 62, Bendon 47. UNI, once again, not having that consistency that they were hoping to have, and then Michigan State just coming out and swinging. Look at that, with the two people scoring over 120. Jalapeno almost breaking 100. Adler also almost breaking 100. This was just such a strong performance from Michigan State. You know that when this team gets going, they're going to be one of the biggest threats in this entire division. And to see them do all this right now, it's going to really make this last week of the season, these last few games, so intriguing to watch. Because the way Michigan State's playing, if they're in playoffs, don't be surprised to see them make an upset. In fact, they might go in. It's not April. It's not March anymore. I can't make the March Madness joke, but hey. Michigan State is doing something special still, and I think they could have a good run if they make it in. And then the last table, if it wasn't obvious already that Alabama's playing well, what the heck is happening here? 583 to 401, a plus 182 in favor of Alabama. Solution 149, excuse me. Brad Joe 106, Sales 94, Trumbull Wizard 91, Jay 88, Draw 55. Then from Tennessee, Evolved 122, Ghost 81, Jay Guzzi 75, Cisco 51, Silver 51, and then the bot, sadly, with the 21 points. So yeah, obviously 6v5, not exactly what you want to see here, but Alabama is just having that's that kind of season where these games are going to happen. Solution is playing well. Solution's just playing so good right now. Brad's my pick for most improved, I want to say, this season. Sales is like my pick for rookie of the season. It's my award ballot might legitimately just be Alabama. Like it actually might really be just Alabama. I think Solution's my MVP. I think Brad Joe's my pick for most improved. Sales is my pick for rookie. So yeah, it might actually be that way. And then sportsmanship. I'll have to look at the chat to see what we think, but we'll see. And I think we'll talk about that after D1. I think we're gonna introduce some new awards too, so we'll get into that soon. And as for Tennessee, like mentioned before, it's been a rough season for them, but win the 5v6, and hey, they've been able to gather. These rough seasons have happened. We've seen teams struggle here. Shout out to Sales for the follow. We are 2 followers away from that goal, which I don't know what the 100 follower goal is anymore because I was going to do it regardless. But shout out to Sales for the follow. Happy to see you, my guy. Okay, let's take a look at the playoff table. So Tennessee's out. UNI is out. It's between Michigan State and Iona, which would make things interesting here. So Iona has to win once to make things interesting. If they win twice, then that makes things very interesting. Shout out to Alabama. Alabama's already in, so good on them. It really depends on if they're the first seed or the second seed. It'll just depend on like those last 2 matches. Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech plays Iona and they play Michigan State. Wow. Oh, that's a rough poll here. I know Virginia Tech might struggle to gather. That's been an issue for them. I think VT is in though. Might depend on like some differentials, maybe. Like I think Michigan State would have to do something kind of crazy to beat out Virginia Tech in terms of differential, but I had to reschedule to a time you can't gather for. Oh, that is rough. Iona, looking at them, who's Iona play? Iona plays Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Okay, so Iona will likely beat Tennessee, but you've seen it before where Tennessee's come close. I think it's a 5v6 or whatever. Things happen. Maybe Tennessee pulls off the upset on Iona. Gets that first win of the season and just plays spoiler towards IU. That would be a huge thing right there. And it might legitimately just come down to Michigan State Iona. I was gonna say Virginia Tech has to lose both. Iona has to beat Tennessee. That's the only way I could see them out too. And even then, they would be tied with points with Michigan State. And then I think the differential swings in favor of Virginia Tech unless Michigan State just does like wins by like 200 or something like that, or like 150-ish. I can't do math in my head right now. But yeah, Virginia Tech is a high chance of making it in. It just depends on what seeding there is. Because, oh man, Virginia Tech as a 1 seed would be scary. But as a 2 seed, they're arguably even scarier. Yeah, Iona, Tennessee is actually closer than I think people are expecting. I legitimately could see Tennessee winning that one. Like it was 491, 493. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something crazy happen. I don't know when all the matches are happening. I know it had to be done soon, but we could be in for a wild finish to the end of D2. With 4 teams still having a chance at playoffs, Alabama having clinched that spot already, just looking at seedings. Virginia Tech looking to clinch their spot again and then make it, maybe even clinch the 1 seed, and then Michigan State and Iona. 2 teams with championship experience trying to bring it back and see what they can do here. It's going to be exciting. Tennessee winning that match with shits and giggles would be so funny for the standings. That would cause Franken to leave the server again. So that would be something. Oh my gosh. I campaign is that SOS on glitchy snipers. Yeah, Tennessee Iona might honestly just be the match to watch here. Like that could determine everything. And obviously Michigan State Iona will too, but I don't know. Michigan State play. Michigan State, Virginia Tech is gonna be important. It's gonna be interesting to watch. Gonna be watching these tables. If you're in any of the servers, watch those warbots because any of these players stream, you want to tune in because these are gonna be some good things to watch. Let's go to D1. Spoiler alert for that. A lot has happened since I last streamed. Kutztown UCLA 572 to 412 plus 160 win in favor of KU. Tech 136, Batboo 122, Bo 106, Steepy 90, MC 68, JK 850. We expect this out of Tactical. We expect this out of Batboo. Bo has had a less of a consistent season than we were expecting, but when Bo plays well, it's just really hard to beat Kutztown. And when Steepian becomes that fourth option, it's really scary as well. JK8 has been having a really rough season, I think, lately, but still a solid player to have as your sixth option. And MC, along with the Anomaly and Sunset, have been rotating around as a last spot for Kutztown, all being solid players here. And this win is not a surprise at all. Meanwhile, for UCLA, Kyra 135, Joy 83, Zane 71, D-Mouse 63, Sorain 40, Julie 20. It might have been Julie's first game. I can't be sure. But UCLA, rough season for them. It's been hard in D1. D1 is just that stacked. And I know UCLA is going to be crazy good in the future. But hey, heads up high. UCLA is still a very strong program. I think legitimately, UCLA is beats the majority of D2 by 100. So don't be surprised when UCLA is back in D1 with a vengeance next season. Hoping to see that. Now, if one Trey was eligible, that'd be so good. But yeah, it's a shame Trey isn't able to play for KU. Oklahoma 523, and then UCLA 461, a plus 62 win in favor of Oklahoma. Golden 119. Caleb 95, Rido 91, JW Feet, oh my god, JWT 87, Tobias 72, Tekadessa 59, and then for UCLA, Kyra 142, Joy 91, Demos 84, Sorain 55, Emil 48, Zane 41. Oklahoma is just has been having a really good season as well. I think they ended up, I want to say 4-6, so for a debut season in D1, it's been something. Are you kidding me? UCLA is going to be in shambles next season because most of the top LU is graduating? Ah! I was going to say, Cairo, aren't you I forget what you're applying for, but I want to say it's med school or some other graduate post-bac program. So I remember hearing the rumors of you going to UCSD. So that would be... Oh dear God, Cairo and UCSD again. Oh no, Cairo and the Wallabies reuniting. Oh. What's going to happen with UCLA next season? We will see. Okay, Masters this year, med school next year. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, shout outs to that. Finishing that Masters, I've taken a break from mine, so oops. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. UCLA rejected you already. They don't know. They just tell UCLA that you're basically that hard of that Mario Kart team. Maybe that'll change things. It won't, but hey, it doesn't hurt the dream. But yeah, hey, good luck with med school, though. Med school I know is really hard to get into, so... I believe in you, man. Overall for UCLA, now knowing that a lot of them are graduating, it's going to be interesting. Seeing what this team becomes in the future, seeing where people are who's the new faces that step up and all that. I'm actually really excited to see UCLA kind of with a fresh face, with those fresh faces, just to see what they do there. Oklahoma. Oklahoma, on the other hand, is a very young team, so they're gonna be the exact opposite, where you see them like all kind of just grow and develop together. And Oklahoma, maybe they become a top 3 team next year. Maybe they're fighting in playoffs at this point. I'm excited for that. Both these teams different directions, but excited to see what both these teams have going forward. And shout outs to Oklahoma again. Really proud as a group for making it in the D1 in the first place, and then getting some notable wins as well. Honestly, we didn't think they would be D1. We thought they were a solid D2 team at the end of 2023, and then here they are, April 2024, solid D1 team. No one's even doubting them here. PSP, the Peach State Patriots, 505, Oklahoma 479, plus 26 win in favor of Peach State Patriots. Another close match between these two teams. This might turn into one of the best rivalries in CKL. How close these matches are. Spoon 132, Spruce 92, Luxstone 79, Dynamo 78, Stingray 69, Shy Guy 55 from Oklahoma, JWT 101, Golden 92, Tobias 87, Caleb 70, Rhino 65, and Tekadessa 64. These matches have been really close between these teams before. I forget, I don't remember the table or the Sokaji off the top of my head, but I'm not surprised to see it be this close. PSP, not falling short of the playoff expectations they had at the beginning of the season, looking to make that run. But hey, what a way to end their season, though, or end some of it here. Spoon had a legendary season, honestly. It's not really happy for my guy. If you don't use a Spoon strat already on PP Cove, go do that. And then the rest of Peach State has been really developing nicely. Spruce, Luxstone, Dynamo, Ray especially has been a really good name to see develop. Shy Guy's been playing well. Peach State's got a bright future. Excited to see what this team does. And Oklahoma, we've talked about it before. The consistency is there. They're able to put those pieces together. Sometimes just races just don't go their way. In the future, this team is going to be a huge threat. I'm super excited to see what OU does in the future. Dang. I will say that happens sometimes. You've seen the ups. It was last week was just a week of big comebacks. If I think about it, you saw FIU do it to Morgan. You saw other teams just have big second half, last GPs. And yeah, I think that's just the difference there when you have a player like Spoon playing for Peach State. Really, that's where the experience really comes in. The D1 experience just really comes through, where that comeback mentality has happened. And now Oklahoma definitely has it in them. It's just gonna be but by this time next season, hey, shout out Spoon. As we talk about PSP, yo, tacos. I could go for a taco right now. I'm kind of hungry. I'm actually probably gonna end stream in 30-40 minutes because I am starving. So, I could go for a taco. Honestly, shout out to Baja Blast, by the way, for being my kid, I guess. Why not? While you eat your taco, Spoon, how was this match for you here? The last 4 or 5 races, just tell me from your perspective, what was it like here? I would normally like to get an interview going, but I'm running out of time, so hey. It's because I've heard that Oklahoma was ahead by 52 or so in the last 4 or 5, so then Peach State come back, and hey, those comebacks have been coming up pretty often, so Oklahoma is such a good team, though. Peach State just had it in those last 5, and sometimes that's all you need. Just those last few races. Says hi from work, by the way, because that's girl I Snapchat, so. Take your time, man. Finish that taco. Michigan 104, 5 of 44. It's UCLA 440 plus 104 in favor of Michigan. Oh, top 6 on Royal. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, that's always just been a track Oklahoma kind of has that mental block on. Don't know why. You can TT Royal all you want, but for some reason, hey, that's what happens. You have such a course that's great for like every spot. Good for bagging, good for resetting. You can run Royal. Part of the reason I love it so much. No, you're fine, Spoon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, what the heck am I looking at? So, he didn't know. Last week we talked about how the top 4 from Michigan was coming through. And yes, this isn't the entire top 4, but Mexican's back. Crow 160, Mexican 123, Whooper 103, C2D 278, Moby 844, and Uppercut 36. I am so sorry, Rhino, for that's how you got here in time. But, hey, that's what happens. And then UCLA, Kyra 99, Joy 99, D-Mouse 65, Emilio 61, Zane 60, Soren 56. Michigan's just that good. We would talk about this when we talk about Michigan Peach States, but this team is come back at the right time, and I think UM is going to be really exciting to watch in playoffs. We'll talk more about that when we talk about the playoff prediction here, because we actually can't talk about D1 playoffs. That's the only division we can talk about, but we'll see. We'll see. And then UCLA, it's been that kind of season, but overall for them, they've had a lot of good moments. UCLA, I think, definitely has nothing to be ashamed of here with this season. It's a hard division. This is a painfully hard division, and they've come so close so many times. Sucks they couldn't really win it, but hey, UCLA still has some amazing players, and even if a lot of them are graduating, really excited to see what that program does in the future. Oh my god. Combat match starts about 3 more rounds. Okay. Am I? There it is. Michigan Kutztown. This was close. Crow? I think Crow might be a senior. If Short was in chat, or if any of Michigan was in chat, I would love to know that as well. This is a bit of a... This is interesting here. This is a big war. 507 and 477 plus 30 in favor of Michigan. Mexican 116, Crow 105, Short 98, Whooper 92, Maybe 48, C2D2 48. Then from Kutztown, 109 from Tech, Bapu 108, 87 from Bo, Steeping 72, MC 52, JK 849. The tops of Michigan, that top 4, they didn't even play that necessarily as amazing as we have come to expect. But that's a core that is so scary. That is legitimately one of the best groups I've ever seen in CKL. That will probably go down as one of the best teams ever. And Michigan's going to be such a threat in playoffs. This is actually the playoff preview, so that's going to be really cool. And then for Kutztown, Tech 109, Bapu 108, we expect to see that. Kutztown is strong. I think actually keeping it close was big. Yeah. I remember seeing in D1 chat that there was lag, and we hate to see when that happens. Because, that definitely plays into effect. I think Bapu mentioned, getting hit out in first place because of lag. Item lag? I can't talk today, sorry. But we hate to see it. But if you're Kutztown, this is close. Remember, in that preseason scrim, this was a very big win for Michigan. But Kutztown has now kept it much closer, and in a best-of-3 setting, anything can happen in semis. So I'm really excited to see that. We'll talk more about that in the playoff preview. Speaking of Michigan strong, holy hell, 581 Michigan, 403 Peach State, plus 178 in favor of Michigan. Crow 138, Whooper 112, Mexican 106, Shorts 100, C2D2 68, Aiden 57. Then from PSP, Spoon 106, Ray 74, Dynamo 62, Spruce 59, Luxstone 56, Shy Guy 46. Michigan's scary. I remember when the season started, we heard the news that Mexican likely wasn't going to play, and then last week happened, Mexican came back, and we're like, oh no. And then the big four comes out and does 4 100s. What do? You need like what, 493 to win? Yeah, you need 493 points to win a war. And 4 of these players got 400 combined. whenever you play them, I hide behind my covers. No, I don't blame you. That's rough. That is absolutely rough. Like, holy heck. What do you do here? I know Peach State is like, it's so hard to beat this team. Peach State is like a good team also. This is like a very deep lineup too, and this is one of Peach State's best groups. So the fact that Michigan just like swept the floor, holy heck. Honestly, so if you're Michigan, they're going in the playoffs super hot, and I'm like scared as heck. Spoon versus their top 4, and Crow would lag back like 20 times. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Spoon. I am so sorry. That's the biggest April Fool's joke I've ever seen, just that kind of play. Oh my lord. And then we are going in with the last UCSD wars to wrap up. We got a tie. We have I'm trying to like understand what the heck is happening on this table. What is this table? Oh my god, guys. I can barely read this table, guys. Okay, UCSD 492. Peach State 492. It's tie. This is the second tie in D1, I'm pretty sure. Campus is coming shit. Iron and Diamond Luxon was in playing since before February. The UCSD TEC experience. Oh my god. What a table. What a war. So, for Peach State, Shy Guy. 104, Spruce 93, Spoon 83, Ray 78, Lexington 70, Dynamo 64. And then, for UCSD, Astro 105, Super FX 99, Top Hat Bear 94, Chloe / Pookie 66, Luna 65, Zach 63. This table is... I'm laughing so much at this table. The next one isn't much easier to read. Okay, it's a tie. It's a fun table. Hey, UCSD already had the playoff spot clinched. Peach State, hey, playing for basic placement at this point, so... PSP would have won this, but switched on the line to get last on Raceway. You know what? That's a very Spoon thing to do. Spoon is very charitable. It gets... Hey, it allows me to say that I coach a top 4 team in the country. So I appreciate you, Spoon, for that. I want them all to get more points for fantasy. You know what? That's real. That's real. And for UCSD, great performances overall from this team after finally breaking that 100 mark this season. So, hey, the Galaxy Brain maneuvers. I think we've had enough at this table. And then UCSD Oklahoma 503 to 481, a plus 22. What's the biggest win for Spoon this season? Plus 22 win in favor of UCSD. Astro with 86, Super FX 115, while Elise 85, Zach 83, Top at Bear 77, Luna 57. And then for Oklahoma, Cable / Caleb 91, JWT 85, Rumble 80, Rhino 79, Golden 76, Tobias 70. Close war once again from these teams. And hey, with the way both these teams are playing, basically nothing to play for at this point. And I know UCSD was playing with in person, so hey, that was really cool to see because basically both these teams are playing in person. So not in person in the same room, sadly, but hey, it's a step towards the future. So really happy for that. Both these teams playing really well overall. UCSD has playoffs to look forward to. Oklahoma had a great debut season in D1. Nothing to be ashamed of on either side. Let's talk playoffs. Shoutouts to the Indiv table, by the way. Crow 136.9, Tech 135, Kyra 125.9, Bapu 119, Hooper 114, Spoon 109. And then just looking at this, shout out to all these players really making it in here. Golden and JWT both breaking top 12, happy for them. Bo, Joy, Short, Super FX breaking in the top 10. Top at Bear, top 16 overall. Shout out to all these players here. Making it in the top 20 is no easy feat, so congrats to all of the players down there. Okay, this is the only playoff preview we get to have. Proud of UCSD getting top 20. That's insane. No team, I think, was ever going to be able to have that. That's such a cool thing, honestly. It really just goes to show how deep this team is. I'm going to pull up D1 chats on my phone because I don't want to leak it on stream. But I remember seeing it, and it's like, oh boy. Yeah, because I know has a harder time rescheduling. Michigan needing reschedules doesn't help either. This is a clash of like availability at this point. Kutztown, Michigan is way closer than I think people are going to expect. So yes, with the top 4 and some lag involved, Michigan did win that last match. Kutztown did win that first match without top lineup from Michigan. Am I gonna cast or plus? I wish. I'm actually going to a baseball game on Saturday, so I can't cast. Actually, yeah, I'm really busy the next few weeks. I don't think I'm casting at all this playoffs. Oh, that's so sad. Because let me think about this. I'm busy this weekend, so I can't cast. I'm busy. Next weekend is Avalanche, the Kutztown land, so I will not be here. I'm casting at Avalanche instead. The week after that is McDaniel Super Road Rage. I'm casting at that. So, you'll see me casting. It's just not going to be for CKL. I'm really sorry, guys. But hey, I would love to cast. It's just availability doesn't line up for me. Is each div going to get casted or only Z1? I'm going to try and get people every div casted. If y'all can figure out your availability, we can get stuff set up, because I would love to get multiple divs casted. Like D2 I really want to see, because D2 is going to be insane. D2 is going to be such a good finals. Going to be such a good playoff. D3 finals will be legendary, trust me. And D4, if that's New Mexico Western, that's going to be beautiful. I want to at least stream finals. Maybe not all of playoffs, but I want to at least get those finals matches all on like prime times. So, I'm so ready to see playoffs as well. That's going to be so good to watch. Okay, chat, what are we thinking? Kutztown, Michigan, what's our bets early on? Before I start talking about like what I'm thinking here. Because, legitimately, this is a hard match to determine. Because it really is dependent on who is playing. Michigan, without the top 4, it's really close. It's already really close. Michigan game 1, or Kutztown game 1, Michigan 2-3. Michigan with Vex wins is what I'm thinking as well. I think it really just depends on who is the lineup for Michigan. Because if Mexican plays, then I think it's very solid there, because that top 4, as good as Tech and Bapu are, as good as Bo and Stepien are, I think that top 4 for Michigan is just too much for Kutztown. Like, most times. Granted, I do think Kutztown can take a game. I actually could see it as Michigan, Kutztown, Michigan. And in that case, it'll be interesting. One thing I do want to say, I know Kutztown doesn't want to go to Game 3. I don't think either of these teams want to go to Game 3. Because when you go to Game 3, that's where the inexperience of the 5 and 6 slots from Michigan will show, where they will have to play 3 wars in a row, and that is hard. Like, if you haven't warred 3 in a row and your first time is doing it in a playoff situation, it's very difficult. It is draining, especially considering the timing of it. That's 8, 9, 10, maybe 9, 10, 11 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, it's gonna be busy, long day, so hey, a lot of rest is needed there. I wouldn't count out Kutztown at all here. I think Kutztown, what we're looking for with Kutztown is the production outside of Tech and Bapu. Bo has had some inconsistency this season. That hasn't been a secret. Steepian has been on and off, and then MC will occasionally have a good run. JK8's been struggling. Anomaly is available, but Anomaly is roughly the same as MC. Sunset's roughly the same as those two as well. So it'll really be what can we get out of the 3 through 6 positions from Kutztown. Because especially if the Michigan has that top 4, without the production from 3 through 6 on Kutztown, it's going to be very difficult to stop Michigan. And for Michigan, it's really going to be who's available. If Mexican plays, and that's a game changer. If that top 4 is all there, I think they're the favorite. I'm probably going to lean like 60-40 in favor of Michigan at this rate, but I would not be stunned if when we look at the lineup, it's a sweep in favor of Michigan, or if the lineup doesn't pan out in favor of them and Kutztown wins out. We'll see. I think either way, it'll be really. I think we'll have some close wars. I'm hoping for close wars at least. So that's sadly the only D1. That's the only playoff preview we're gonna have this week because D2, D3, D4. D4 has not finished. D3 has not finished. D2 has not finished either. If you want the preliminary thing, I think D3 Morgan moves on to finals. I think Ontario moves on to finals in D4, and then in D2, it'll depend on who that playoff matchup is. If Alabama's in semis, I think Alabama goes on the finals. If it's Virginia Tech, Michigan State, that's gonna be close, but I think it's Virginia Tech. But I could see Michigan State making the upset. So hey, I don't know, but hey, Michigan State. I could see if we're gonna see a crazy run, it'll be in D2. We'll leave it at that. Okay, probably gonna end stream soon. Chat, do we have any questions then before we wrap up? I'll do that. Gonna try and find some other stuff. I appreciate that, Spoon. I'm not as cool as you, but I appreciate it. I'm really excited to meet you at Super Road Rage, by the way. Like, when Samber told me that you were going to McDaniel, I'm like, there's no shot. I'm like, I legitimately had I did not believe it for a second. And then I saw him, like, oh my god. And I get to meet Spoon. I'm really happy. No, honestly. Jump up, down, and giggle. I guess it's too sweet. Spoon jump scare IRL. Okay, I'll take 2 minutes of questions then, and then we'll wrap up, and then we'll end stream, we'll raid, and then end there. But hey, whatever we got, guys, I'll end at, 33-ish? Angle will be there, yes. We have to figure out how we're getting there, because Angle's van was going to be the way we got there, and now we need 2 cars. But yeah, rough time to get into a car accident. What's Mr. Dub? I won't lie to you, I actually use both. I actually do use both sometimes. Not like at the same time, obviously, but I do kind of rotate. I think it depends, really. I've used Dove actually for the longest time, and then I went to Old Spice for something. Yeah, I think it depends on the product. Or cleanliness. Yeah, either works. I think those are both my go-to for like body wash, soap, whatever at this point. So hey, yeah. I think for me personally, I can't go wrong with either of those. So that'll be fun though. Yo, I think the fun thing, if you for those who are gonna tune in for Super Road Rage on April 20th, that's coming up in a couple of weeks. I might be doing like a live like CK game day, whatever from there. Might get the chance to do the final, get to do the Spoon interview in person. Maybe get to do the Zay interview in person. That'll be cool too. We'll see. But I'm really hyped to have that. So really hoping for the best there. So yeah, that's what I look forward to. So what we got coming up then? ECRC All-Star Game is this Friday. I am sadly not available for that, so rip. What else? If you're on an MKU team, the deadlines for that are coming up, so make sure you register and get those transfers in. CKL playoffs will be starting up this week. I'll announce the CKL All-Star Game coming up. It'll probably be in like May or something like that, but that's coming up to look forward to. So hey, got a lot of stuff to look forward to, guys. So I think we'll start the raid and then we'll end stream there. So here we go. Both coach, honestly. Buzz Nick has been working with a lot of the people I know, working with a lot of UCSD, I want to say. We've been working with Interstellar, I've been working with the Buzz family, and working with Moravian. So, honestly, really important guy to the scene. So, go support my man. So, until next time, guys, we'll be live again once again next week for another recap of CK101. But hey, thank you guys for tuning in, and hope to see you guys around next time. Have a good one, guys.